Good morning, welcome back to my garden. It's not super early, but it's pretty early for me. The sun's just coming up over the trees. Today is Saturday. I haven't been out in the garden since Monday, really. I've come out and checked a few things, but I haven't done anything because it's been raining pretty much nonstop since Monday, which is great for the garden, but not great for the gardener. Not when it's cold rain. So today I came out here to harvest some green beans. And looking over the plants, I've seen there's not very many baby beans, not very many blooms anymore. So I'm going to cut the beans off at the base and then harvest the beans off of them. And I thought I'd bring you along with that because it's been a few days. Just to show you how much rain we got. This is just the lid that's on top of my soil. I didn't want my soil getting super waterlogged, but I didn't dump that off yet because I wanted to show you how much rain we got. Got about 1.5 inches total. My rain gauges said we got about 1.5 inches, which is fantastic. Last month we had a few days where we got like 5 inches of rain in a weekend, so that was crazy. This was over the whole week. This was good. We like this. But anyway, I'll bring you down into the green bean bed here. As you can see, there's some beans in there, but there's not a bunch of blossoms or baby beans anymore on the ends of the plants. And there are carrots growing in between some of the beans, so I'm just going to harvest everything that I can and remove the plants by snipping them off at the base so I don't disturb the carrots. So I'm just going to start from this end over here. The whole plant. And there was one remaining. And then these would be fantastic for compost, but we're moving in a few months, so I don't want to bring compost with me when we move. So they're just going to go into the trash, unfortunately. When I harvest green beans, I like to take off the end while I'm out here, so I don't have to go inside and snip them off. I can just go inside and wash them and cook them. It's got a few beans. You can see on these leaves they also had some damage from the thrips. So it's time to get them out before that spreads more too. A lot of these plants are intertwined with each other. I had to cut 6 of them just to get this one out. Tell you, picking beans off of the plant upside down is a lot easier than trying to dig through the bed and get all the beans. When you plant bush variety of beans, be they green beans or yellow beans or whatever other color bean, that you're going to harvest as a young bean to eat, not as a drying bean, they will have one really good flush of beans, really, sometimes 2. So this is kind of the tail end of their beans. I already got the really good flush of them, but this will still be a good little harvest. There will probably be about as much from this as there was from my first harvest from them. So You get one small one and then one bigger good one and then another small one at the end. If you plant the pole variety, then they're going to keep producing as long as you keep picking. This is the big plant that was trying to hold everybody else down. They were all tangled up. Oh, someone's been munching. That one's got some holes in it. Got eaten a little bit. Which happens in the garden, especially in this one. One of the days that I came out this week to check, I was coming out to see if mostly to see if any of the watermelon had come ripe and fallen off the vine into their nets. Because I didn't want to leave watermelon hanging out here as an invitation for the birds and the rats to come in. So I was coming out here to check for watermelon and noticed that rats had eaten one of my almost ready kohlrabis, which last week they ate one already, so now they had eaten two of my kohlrabis that were almost ready. And then today when I came out, I noticed that they had eaten a third one that wasn't anywhere near ready. This bed right here is the one that I had uncovered on, what was it, Sunday? Before the rain, to see if it would be okay uncovered, because the plants were looking like they were getting big and they wanted to have some freedom and some air and some space. But I had to cover it up again this morning because rats got 2 of the 4 kohlrabi that were in there. And I'm going to spend the weekend getting new rat traps and setting new rat traps, just trying to save what I can of my harvest. And then, I don't know if you can see, oh you can, right there, I brought out my new green stock, and we're going to fill that one up together. And I had been thinking about just planting flowers in it because it would be really pretty with the pink and having flowers. But I decided I'm going to plant some kohlrabi in there. Look at that plant, that's got a lot of green beans. I'm going to plant some kohlrabi in that pink green stock to hopefully keep the rats away from my food, because I like kohlrabi. I want to actually eat some of it this year. I'm pulling up a couple of carrots that are in there, which is a little bit sad, but they probably needed to be thinned anyways. And then removing all these plants will let those finally get some good sunshine and hopefully grow well. I've yet to do well with carrots, but I think last year it was because I planted them in a bed that doesn't get very much sun. I planted them in my flower bed that's on this side that's completely in the shade by like noon, so that was user error. Hey, at this angle you can see my dogs. Hi, Ty. They're not supposed to come in here, they know that. But they do it anyways when they think I'm not looking. Move a couple of carrots out of the way. This harvest might end up better than I thought. With my last one, I came out one day and picked, and then I came out the next day and picked more. And the first day I had enough for a meal, and then the second day I had enough for 4 meals. So I blanched them and froze a lot of them. So far in the basket, it's looking like we have enough for at least 1 meal, so we'll probably get 2 or 3. And a couple of them are dirty, and when they stay wet for too long, they get this, the color on there, can you tell? It's called rust. It's not pretty, but it's completely fine to eat. And this one probably won't be super tender, but I can chop it up and put it in a soup so it'll cook a long time or something. Or if I get inside and decide it doesn't look like I want to eat it, I can throw it away in there. Oh, come on, carrots, you're not supposed to all pull out. Thinning carrots as I go, I guess. see, I don't got munched. I feel like I'm pulling out more carrots than I would like to. So I planted them this way as an experiment to see if I could do carrots and green beans together. And then I also did some radishes. There's a few radishes in here, but I don't know that I'm loving the outcome. We'll see when I'm done. Shouldn't speak too soon. And there's these radishes that are like, this is the root. Probably should throw a little bit of compost on top of those, see if they'll actually bulb up at all. But they were reaching for the sun through those green beans, so I definitely won't plant radishes under green beans again. Oh, that one got eaten too. Glad I got out here when I did. These could have all gotten eaten. If you are someone who's ever had to deal with rats in your garden or in your kitchen or anywhere, let me know how you deal with them and how you make them stop. Because I hate the idea of killing a bunch of them, but I also hate the idea of letting them block my entire garden that I'm working to care to grow. Done kill traps in the past. They work, but I use plastic ones that got a little messed up when I left them out in the sun. So I'm gonna have to buy new ones to go that way. And I have tried poison in the past. Look at that. It's terrible. But I don't like to put poison out here when I know my dog might come over here. One main reason they're not allowed in the garden is because at one point I had poison out here. And also because they like to dig. They're little monsters sometimes. But yeah, if you've dealt with rats, give me some pointers to help me out, because these are driving me crazy. And it's just so disheartening to come out here and see something like that kohlrabi that I was planning on harvesting today. I came out yesterday and it was eaten. It's actually in the trash can right behind me. I can show you. That's the one I found today. That's the little one. This is the one I was going to harvest this weekend. I came out yesterday and they had eaten it, so I pulled it out and threw it in the trash. But yeah, I need something. I need to do something about them. It's getting out of control. Just picked this one up and there was a green bean and a yellow bean. I thought it was on the same plant, but it was two separate plants. That's funny. I kind of like the yellow beans a little bit more, I think. They're especially more prolific. I love that, but I think they taste a little bit better. Not that there's anything wrong with the green beans. They are delicious too, but with the yellow beans, this is a yellow bean. It's just not yellow yet. They're better if you actually let them turn yellow, but these ones won't be bad. Getting a nice little basket full here. We still got half the bed to do, so that's exciting. Damaged. Maybe if I drop the damaged ones in the walkway, the rats will eat those and leave my beds alone. Haha. Wishful thinking. That one's eaten. That one's too small. There's a nice one. It makes me really sad that I can't compost these. Yeah, we're getting out here at exactly the right time. The thrips completely took out my spring pole beans, and I didn't notice it until it was too late and everything was dried up, and removing it was just a pain. Like when bean leaves dry out, they're like Velcro, and they're just, it's not a fun thing to clean up. And removing these is going to give the carrots and then these little volunteer onions on the end. My volunteer onion over here. There's another one in this corner. I can show when we're done. But I think other things in this bed are going to be so much happier to get some sunshine. There's a really big clump of carrots right there, so thinning them a little bit is going to be good, even though it's unintentional thinning. I don't typically thin my carrots because I'm lazy, but I also have never grown carrots well, so maybe I should not suggest not thinning carrots. Do what I don't do when I've had something that fails. And I don't think I planted carrots back here when I planted the yellow beans. I think I just did it with the green beans. So, I might have to plant something else back here. Maybe some flowers so the rats won't eat them. Then again, maybe the rats have a taste for flowers. Who knows? I had a few baby beans, but not enough to keep the whole crop in the ground. And you see all these carrots right here. Take out that one. A couple of these are actually decent carrots. Ones that were along the edge, getting a little more sunshine maybe. And a nice thing about coming out here when it's not hot outside is we don't have to fight with the AC unit for sound. You can just listen to the birds and not have that monster roaring in the background. Because where I'm sitting right now in the garden is literally 4 feet away from the AC unit, so if it was hot out here, it would be loud. A couple more that have been eaten. That one was a good one that got eaten. I mentioned we'll be moving soon. We are renting from my father, and he also lives in the same house as us, but they bought a new house, and so over the next few months they want to be fixing up this one to sell. And this week he let us know that he would like to list it to sell in April, which right now is November. Next week is Thanksgiving, so April is plenty of time for us to find a place, but it's also, I'm hoping we can find someplace a little bit sooner so that I can get my garden set up, because most of what I need to plant for the spring needs to be planted in April. But it's nice to not feel super rushed. When they first got their new house, I was a little worried because we're not in a place right now to really try to find a place yet. But giving us a few extra months is certainly a blessing. Oh, we are down to the last couple of plants over here, guys. Sometimes when I have nowhere to put one of my stakes, I just stick it inside of a bed. And then I'll eventually end up needing it, and it'll be right there where I needed it. I can just grab it and put it where I want it. Oh, there's a plant label from when I had peppers in here. Put that in the trash too. Alright, we're all done. There's a big radish that was supposed to be an 18-day radish, and it never radished. Story of my gardening life. There's a few beans on here. The rats can have a snack. Bean. The carrots aren't looking super happy right now, but a couple of them got pulled up. Hopefully the ones that didn't get pulled up will perk up soon. And we can actually get some carrots in here. And then on this side, I will have to decide what I want to plant, but for now, it's covered with those bean leaves, which is good mulch. It'll feed the soil a little bit. I can show you. There's the volunteer onion. There's actually 2 of them there, but I didn't want to separate them because I didn't want to mess anything up. And then empty bed. A couple of radishes over there. The carrots that are all laying down, but hopefully they'll perk up soon. A couple of radishes with really long roots. Maybe I'll try to grow some more radishes and actually bury them the right depth. And then in this corner there's, I think, 3 together onions that volunteered. And then, just for a little view, the rest of the bed, that one pea plant is so nice. I haven't been back there to check on the rest of them, but the other day when I was out here, they did not look happy. But let's not turn this into an entire garden tour. Thank you for joining me with my green bean harvest, which there's the harvest right there. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you come back next time. Bye.